That's your son, huh?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Richards? Here. Counselor Sanchez? Here. Counselor Coleman? Present. Mayor Mahler?
Here.
Counselor Gerson?
Present.
Counselor Gorley?
Present.
Counselor Trask?
Present. Let the record show you have all 7 present with no absent. At this time, we go ahead and do the online, please.
Thank you to everyone who is joining us this evening. For members of the public who would like to take part in tonight's meeting virtually, we have some instructions to help you in case you are new to using Microsoft Teams. To take part, you will need to locate the chat bubble icon to participate in the meeting online. The chat bubble icon indicated with the yellow arrow on your screen now may be in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, or you may need to click on the 3 dots to see an extended drop-down menu. If you wish to be recognized by the mayor to speak during the meeting, please choose the bubble icon to enter the meeting chat. It will appear on the right-hand side of your screen. In the chat, enter your name, address, and phone number, followed by the topic you wish to discuss with the council. If you have signed in, you may be called on to speak at any point during the meeting, but probably during the agenda item you have entered to speak about. You can choose the hand icon also located in the upper right-hand corner to indicate your desire to speak. It's the equivalent of raising your hand. The mayor, acting chairperson, or moderator will ask you to speak at the appropriate time. We'll give everyone who may wish to speak tonight a few minutes right now to enter their name, address, phone number, and topic they'd like to address with the council. In the interest of time, speakers should not repeat the points of a previous speaker. Instead, state you agree with their point or disagree with their point. Each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes. Any extension of that time is at the sole discretion of the mayor or meeting chairperson per the council rules. Those joining us by phone will be noted by the moderator for the mayor chairperson and called to speak at the appropriate time. The fact the meeting is online does not excuse poor behavior, and the mayor does retain the right to have people removed from the meeting as stated in the council rules.
Thanks, Julie. Consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second by roll call, please.
Counselor Richards.
Yes.
Counselor Sanchez.
Yes.
Counselor Coleman.
Yes.
Mayor Mahler.
Yes.
Counselor Gerson.
Yes.
Counselor Gorley.
Yes.
Counselor Trask.
Yes. Let the record show we have 7 ayes, no nays, approval of the consent agenda. We'll be moving on to recognition of visitors and hearing petitions. Before we get started with that, we got a couple swearing-ins to do this evening. And first, we'll start off with welcoming Kelsey Young as our new city manager. And at this time, we will do the swearing-in.
Thank you.
Ashley, raise your right hand. I, state your name.
I, Kelsey Young,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and the state of Oregon,
and of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinance of the city of Sweet Home,
the charter and ordinances of the city of Sweet Home,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
I will faithfully perform the duties of city manager
I will faithfully perform the duties of the city manager
during the period of which I'm appointed.
during the period for which I am appointed.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. one more picture? Okay,
I don't sure
Yes.
you want a picture with him.
Here we go, 3, 2, 1.
thank
Well
you.
done.
So at this time, we will go ahead and now do the swearing of the chief of police.
All right. All right, so very, very honored to get to swear you in as interim chief of police. This is a huge responsibility, and just want to thank you and the city that you're willing to take on this responsibility. So please raise your right hand. Okay, I state your name.
I, Jason Ogden,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and of the state of Oregon,
and of the state of Oregon,
the charter and ordinances of the city of Sweet Home,
the charter and ordinances of the city of Sweet Home,
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
I will faithfully perform the duties of the chief of police
I will faithfully perform the duties of the chief of police
during the period for which I am appointed.
during the period for which I am appointed. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jason, and I've been working for the city for, next month it'll be 25 years. And so there's a reason I've stayed here for 25 years. I absolutely love this community. I poured my heart and soul into this community for the police department. And it is so surreal to be here tonight in the interim position because, you know, starting here as a young 22-year-old and just kind of moving up through the ranks throughout the years, you know, had a couple of stints in detectives, got promoted to sergeant when Chief Lynn was appointed to chief, and then a year and a half ago to captain, and now this. And so I'm super thankful to be working here, super thankful that you are entrusting me with this responsibility, and I will give it my best for you all. And so I want to invite my wife and kids up and introduce them to you. And Pam, my wife, is going to pin the badge on you. So this is special.
Aw.
Yeah, come on up here. Right up front. So I have all my family here except my oldest, who is up at George Fox University attending college. She's in her second year at George Fox. So this is my wife, Pam, and we've been married for 26 years. And let me get over here. We've got Amber and Ivan and Hudson and Luca and Jossa. And she's being really shy right now. Okay, I guess we have the badge and
Jab him once.
you just force it.
Once again, Chief Ogden, congratulations. Well deserved. And Jeff had a lot of faith in you. I understand why. Congratulations. Moving on. Recognition of visitors and hearing of petitions. Anybody like to come forth, be heard before council? Okay. Old business, request for council action, Railroad Depot.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's unfortunate that we have to bring this RCA back to you guys. We brought this, I want to say 2-3 months ago. Since that time, we've reached out to New Era. Vinny's come out and helped us get the word out about its condition and what we need to do with that. We did have, and I'll maybe let Blair chime in, we did have some people kind of touch base on the depot itself, but we really haven't had any major bites or any interest in taking on that building or moving it. You want to add a little bit?
The most interest we had was one gentleman that was interested in pieces of it, but nothing really more than just salvaging roofing, and that's really it. If you go take a look at it, there's some serious rot, and it dissuades people quite a bit when they take a look at it.
So with that, we have an RCA in front of you. Hope you had time to read it. We can try to find some money, and I'm sure that could be difficult at these times. So in this RCA, I'm recommending that we demo it for the reason that it is on the easement for our new FAC facility. Our homeless shelter that we created, I believe, is going to be opening sooner than later. And so at some point, we're going to have to start doing some of those improvements, or the county's going to start doing some improvements. I've seen some county vehicles coming down there, going to the site the last few days. So,
As an update on that, Brian Carroll with the county recently reached out, and they are beginning a grant application for the completion of the RV dump station at their property that would use that same easement, and so they're beginning with that project, hoping to construct next summer.
So with that, it's not good sometimes when you bring certain topics, but I am looking for some direction from council. We can answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions of council?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question. So is any part of it salvageable? By that, I mean, could some of the wood be used for some other, or is it just really a mess?
I think it's probably beyond where somebody would not want to spend the effort to get the
Okay.
amount of wood that you're going to get out of it. There may be some hardware, some small minor parts and things that people can get out of it, but there's not a lot. There really isn't a lot left.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, for those that don't know, that thing's been sitting empty. I don't know how long, but it's been a long time. And it reminds me of the Sankey Park thing we decided to tear down because it was just, it's not worth saving. It just isn't. It would be too much money, and I think this is the right decision to make. And there is something that you could use for it, Councilor Gerson. They could use it for firewood.
Well,
we
we
don't want that either.
It has been empty since the mid-'70s when the railroad moved out of town. So we're talking a lot of years.
And according to the attached paperwork, it wasn't much. We do own it. It's just one piece of paper that was signed over to us, so we are the right owner.
Any questions of councils? Further question? Council directives.
So, Mr. Mayor, I move to do option 4, which is do the demolition of the depot.
I'll second that.
Motion second by roll call, please.
Counselor Trask,
Yes.
Counselor Gorley,
Yes.
Counselor Gerson,
Yes.
Mayor Mahler,
Yes.
Counselor Coleman,
You know I like it, but I have to vote against it. So yes, I am in agreement.
Counselor Sanchez,
No.
Counselor Richards.
Let the record show I have 6 ayes, 1 nay. Approval of number 4, demolition of the railroad depot. Moving on to new business. RCA new lease agreement for printer copier use.
So that's going to be me.
So back when you had your previous finance director, the process was started to go through an RFP for a new copier and lease system for City Hall. That RFP was received, and then right at that point, the transition happened when I came in as the interim person. So I picked up what the previous finance director did, finished putting the pieces together. I talked with him before he left, and we both came to the same conclusion of the RCA agreement that you have before you with Pacific Office Automation. It is the cheapest alternative from the 3 different quotes that we did receive. It's a pretty standard contract in that we pay a kind of a flat base fee amount, and then it's an amount per print or copy of what we use, different rates for colors and black and whites. I did see a comparison that Brandon did with your current charges for your copiers per page costs. And the Pacific Office Automation was cheaper than what you are currently paying. However, the base monthly is just a tiny bit higher. So it's just kind of a little bit of a switch in charges. But there's no maximum or minimum that you're guaranteed other than that base minimum charge. So even if you were to print nothing, you'd still have that base fee.
Any questions to council? Council director.
So moved as recommended.
Second.
Motion and second. By roll call, please.
Counselor Richards.
Yes.
Counselor Sanchez.
Yes.
Counselor Coleman.
Yes.
Counselor Gorley.
Yes.
Counselor Trask.
Yes.
Counselor Gerson.
Yes.
Mayor Muller.
Yes. Record show of 7 ayes, no nays. Approval of the lease agreement for the printer copier. Next up, Mountain Fir right-of-way dedication.
Yes, this is a little unusual. Mountain First Street is a private road that is over near Wiley Creek Assisted Living Facility and the new Mosaic Memory Care Facility that's being constructed right now. Normally, this kind of process happens in the subdivision process, and so it's not normally something that happens. Usually, it's part of the development of a property. In this case, Mountain First Street became a private road when it was first constructed, when the Wiley Creek Assisted Living Facility was constructed. And at that time, Samaritan, I'm not sure who developed it. It was later owned by Samaritan, but at that time they chose to keep it as a private road, and for their own reasons. There's a number of reasons people do that, but they built it to city. According to city specs, so that it eventually could be dedicated over to the city. The new owners of the property, Mosaic, they would like to dedicate that road to the city so that they don't have the ongoing maintenance of a road, just like any other street that exists within the city. Samaritan also owns a portion of that roadway, and they are in agreement with this request as well. And so this has already been discussed at the Planning Commission level. It is not a land use decision, and so it doesn't have to go through the normal land use process for a decision. Essentially, what the city needs to do is decide whether or not to accept it as right-of-way. It's similar to someone dedicating property over to the city. And so the Planning Commission reviewed it. They recommended that the city take on the roadway. They attached some conditions to their recommendation, namely that a sidewalk be constructed along the south side. Staff has reviewed it, found that the condition of the road is good. It meets all of our specifications. Because of the lack of development on the south side of that street, staff recommends that no sidewalk be required unless and until there is development along the south side of an extended Mountain First Street. And so a development agreement would be sufficient to say that, in order to have any future development approved that uses that south side, then that's when construction of a sidewalk would be necessary. So now it comes to you. There's a recommendation from the Planning Commission in front of you, as well as the staff recommendation, and I can take any questions you might have.
I'll open up for questions of council.
Okay, let's have a question. I don't remember, is there a sidewalk there on the north side, the side of the future urgent care?
So the future urgent care is on the corner of Main Street and 49th. This is further south. So Mosaic Healthcare, Mosaic's memory care facility is being built on Mountain Fir, and there is a sidewalk on that north side of the street.
Okay.
Which you, Mr. Mayor, you can't walk on it right now because they got the fence right in the way.
Right. But as it's a private road, they're allowed to.
Yeah, I get
Block
that
it off.
too, but it didn't make much sense, but anyway.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to recuse myself from this discussion
And personal reasons, understood.
for personal reasons.
Well, Mr. Mayor, it is a fairly new road, so probably not gonna be much trouble with that, but I'm not, I don't know about taking that over and taking the responsibility to take care of it for now, but it's gonna be probably all right.
Water and sewer, does that run down through the middle of that?
I haven't seen it, but I would imagine it runs right
Yeah.
down the center and right up through those. And everything's new out there. We don't have worries about age like we have in the avenue. Everything out here is, as we know, is new curb and gutter sidewalks. It's built to current standards.
Yeah.
Ask a question. So there on the end where all the trees are, I'm assuming that road goes out that way for future development. What is that zoned?
The big parcel that's directly to the east is zoned recreation commercial, I believe.
Hey, does Samaritan own that property?
I believe Samaritan still owns it, but Mosaic has I don't know exactly the relationship or what agreement they have, but Mosaic has approached the city with some questions about potential future development. So I believe they at least have an option.
I think, I personally, I would like to see sidewalks on all of it, but, you know, we'll take them over. To me, it always seemed like a private drive more than a regular city street.
Sorry, I need to make a correction. It is not zoned recreation commercial. It is actually zoned high density residential, the same as the rest of the, it's the same zoning as, yes, high density or medium density residential, I should say. The same zoning as the neighborhood to the south.
Yeah, questions, council? Council directive. No directive that dies on the line.
Okay.
Okay, there's no directive. Wow. RCA wastewater treatment plant upgrades agreement.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, staff would prefer to pull this item in order for us to revise the proposed disbursement schedule, and we'll bring it back at a later date.
Next up, RCA Rio Theater OLCC liquor license application.
Yeah, what you have before you is RCA, the Rio Theater at 1459 Main Street. They are applying for a new full on-premises liquor license. And so we have investigated that, contacted the owners, and have determined that it's appropriate for this type of establishment or business. What was interesting, the part of the investigation, after talking to them, we determined that the alcohol was going to be stored in a good location behind the concession stand, away from the public. What I found interesting about it is the business is going to have an automated system that is set up and ready to use. It consists of alcohol input devices that are positioned high on the west wall near the sales concession area, however, unreachable by patrons, obviously. There's going to be, for right now, 2 alcohol dispensing machines, which allows the employee to select the alcohol, and then the machine determines exactly how much needs to be added to the beverage. The wall devices will hold the liquor bottles upside down and allow the controlled transfer of alcohol from the bottles to the dispensing machines once a beverage is selected by an employee. So yeah, and right now they are also considering, it's not there yet, but they're considering installing a small beer dispensing machine as well as something similar for wine. Patrons won't be allowed to order more than 2 shots of alcohol for mixed drinks per shot. And so after we looked into this, we didn't find any reason to recommend a denial to the Sweet Home City Council. So we have the options in front of you. We can do nothing or direct further investigation or make a motion that the city of Sweet Home recommend an LCC license be granted to the beer.
Mr. Mayor,
Questions?
I didn't see where the chief okayed that. I didn't see his name anywhere. Is that on there somewhere? Maybe I missed it.
So, the OLCC had sent a form. We reviewed it. OLCC did their own preliminary investigation.
Right.
They assigned it to us, and then so there's nothing that we've signed yet. So we just present it to you. And if you have any questions, you can answer those questions, or if you want us to go back and do any further investigation, we can do that.
I don't need that. I don't necessarily need that, but I just thought that every time we had one of these come before us, it was,
So
it
the
had
ones-
approval.
So yeah, the ones that I'm familiar with that we sign are the ones for the temporary liquor license investigations.
Yeah.
So it will be somebody who already has an established liquor license. They're just going to temporarily use it at a venue or.
Is that just going to be beer and wine, or is it going to be the,
It is hard alcohol for mixed drinks initially, and they're considering doing a keg for beer and something similar to
okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, so Chief, I noticed where it says the patrons will not be allowed more than 2 shots.
Correct.
However, is that going to be true with beer and wine?
That, I did not ask the question regarding beer and wine, but I don't know the answer to that. I can go back and ask that.
I would like to know that.
And also, I would like to know is, because there's a lot of youth that go to the theater, is it on one side of the theater or the other? And because you've got young people, and so I'd like to know how they plan on dealing with that.
Correct. So everything that they have set up is behind the concession stand area where nobody else has access to it except those who are helping customers. So it is out of the reach
But when they consume it,
of when they consume it. Oh,
yeah, when they consume it, and because it'd be like, I don't know. That was my concern. When you consume it, you're going into a dark theater, you've got children in there, and so okay, well, I'd just like to know.
Well, I don't drink, so it would be one of those situations where if I went somebody that did drink, I would not do this, but then they have 2, and then he talks me in, or whoever talks me into getting them 2 more. That kind of concerns me, but the kids would be most thing for me, because they're really on top of everything, so that would be a concern for me. But I don't know that it's going to be that big of a deal, but I don't want it to get crazy and out of line and stuff. But I guess I do.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, to me it just seems like a restaurant where your family is going to enjoy a meal or watch a movie, and you're going to consume an adult beverage with your children there and have a couple of hours to let it go away while you're enjoying your show. So anything that we can do to help small business in this community bring a little bit more revenue in should should be our biggest concern. I understand that we're also concerned about youth, but it sounds to me like they have a lot of safeguards put in place to make sure that it's heavily monitored and dispensed with the right amount of alcohol because it's automated, and it seems like they went through great lengths to make sure that this was as safe as they could.
Mr. Mayor, I agree, Counselor, that he will make that as safe as he can possibly make. And, you know, somebody could goof that up, but I think he'll keep control of it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I just understood, I thought it was just going to be in the Roxy, that side. I don't know that that's true, because it's way smaller than the rest of the other one, the Rio. So anyway.
I understand a lot of restaurants do this, and I really don't have a problem with that, with their families and stuff. It's just, it's a dark theater, and we don't allow children into bars for a reason. And so I would just like a little bit more information on that and how they plan to manage that, so.
So we can do one of two things, we can get a council directive, or we can get some more information, come back with a council directive at the next meeting. What would the council like to do?
I would like to have a little bit more information on the questions we've asked. I'm not opposed to it either.
Yeah,
I just
no.
want a little bit more clarification.
Mr. Mayor, maybe we could get the owner to come by and talk to us a little bit about that at our next council meeting when this comes by. He's a pretty good guy. I don't think he wouldn't do anything that was going to hurt kids or any of that stuff. I don't believe that. So I'm not opposed to it either. So
Okay, so just go ahead and bring some more information back, and then next council meeting, repropose this. Okay. So, next up is the RC, and this is going to be postponed too, correct?
That is correct, Mr. Mayor.
Ordinance bills, we didn't have a first or a second. We'll go ahead with the third reading, final reading. Ordinance bill number 5 for 2022, ordinance number 1305 by title only.
Ordinance Bill number 5 for 2022, ordinance number 1305, Sweet Home Ordinance repealing SHMC Titles 16, 17, and portions of Title 15, replacing them with a new development code and adopting amendments to the comprehensive plan map, and zoning map.
Any questions of council?
Is the SHMC, is that on the title?
That's in the title, yes.
Okay.
No questions to council, then we need a council directive. This is the third and final reading.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve this ordinance bill. Is that the way it's supposed to be?
I'll second.
A motion second by roll call, please.
Mayor Mahler,
Yes.
Counselor Gerson,
Yes.
Counselor Trask,
yes.
Counselor Gorley,
Yes.
Counselor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Sanchez,
Yes.
Counselor Richards.
Let the record show we have 7 ayes, no nays. Approval of ordinance bill number 5 for 2022, ordinance number 1305. Next up is third and final reading of ordinance bill number 6 for 2022, ordinance number 1306 by title only.
Ordinance Bill number 6 for 2022, ordinance number 1306, an ordinance annexing territory within the urban growth boundary and amending the official zoning map and declaring a need for an expediency clause.
Any questions of council? Council directive.
So I move to approve this ordinance bill number 6.
Second.
Motion second by roll call, please.
Counselor Richards,
Yes.
Counselor Sanchez,
Yes.
Counselor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Gorley,
Yes.
Counselor Trask,
Yes.
Counselor Gerson,
Yes.
Mayor Mahler.
Yes. Record show 7 ayes, no nays. Approval of ordinance bill number 6 for 2022. Ordinance number 6. Next, reports of committees. Any committee reports?
We have a
officially changed our ad hoc meeting to the second Thursday of the month at 5:30. Done this because the Benton and County Health Committee on the same night, and it inhibits people to attend.
Any other reports of the committees? Okay, moving on to mayor's report. I once again want to congratulations, Mr. Ogden, for your work being chief. And I want to also say thank you for your kind words to our chief that he's going to be duly missed. And they put a really beautiful shadow box together, and it was a good speech. And thank you. I wish Jeff Lynn, best of luck in his ventures, and I know he'll do well. So thank you. City manager report.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, I just want to welcome our interim chief, Jason Ogden, and Chef Lynn will be very missed, even though I haven't worked with him for very long. He already has made a big impression, as he obviously has made with the entire community. I also just want to say hello and thank you. This is my first meeting, and I have been very, very grateful to how welcoming all of both mayor and all of the council as well as staff has been. So thank you very much. Very excited to be here in the community. I also would like to, if it's okay, introduce my son James. So he's been very, very patient with all of our moving and going to all of our meetings and so forth. And also, we are going to be going to the Harvest Festival on this Saturday, and we are extremely excited and can't wait to meet more of the community. I know the team and Blair and his team and everybody on the staff and Public Works as well have all been working extremely hard on setting up the Harvest Festival. So I'm really excited about it and hope to see everybody there. And I also understand that we still need more pies and chili entries, and little shout out for anybody who wants to make a gluten-free pie. Would be wonderful. I have to be gluten-free and I love pie and chili. So very excited about all of that. So my first week has been pretty eventful, actually. So, but I'm excited. We're taking a look. As you all are aware, we had to postpone the audit presentation, so that'll be coming to the next council meeting. And we also have been taking a little bit bigger look at the budget. So those are all pieces that we'll be discussing more with the council as we move forward, but I'm very optimistic. We have a wonderful team here. We've got a wonderful council, wonderful mayor, and an amazing community. So again, I just want to thank you all for inviting me into the home of Sweet Home. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Kelsey. You'll do a good job, and welcome again.
Thank you.
Department directors reports. Anything for the directors, or directors would like to report? Council business good of order. Comcast notice. Anything you want to be brought up on that?
Mr. Mayor, I'd highly recommend have you people come to that harvest thing. It's really, really something. It really is. And apparently they're going to have more than they had last year, so it's pretty good. And gluten pie would not be that good, I don't think.
I could make it good.
A lot of sugar makes a difference.
Mr. Mayor, may I say something for the good? I just want to speak real quickly about, I went to the Cascadia Park ceremony, and it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced. And I'm really thankful to the county commissioners and the tribes and all the people in the Parks Department that made that possible. They said that all of the parks along the Highway 20 corridor in our county are now owned by the county and not the state. So I was just really excited to be a part of that. And then lastly, I want to say happy Rosh Hashanah to all of our Jewish family in the community. Happy New Year. And that's all I have to say.
Mr. Mayor, I have one more thing. I don't know how many of you know Dave Behringer, our former fire chief. His dad passed away on Friday. And so you might be thinking about him and his family, and his mom is not well either. So when they both had COVID. And so anyway, yeah, if you're thinking about that, that'd be good for him.
There's anything else you brought up? If nothing else, we will adjourn at 7:10.
I mean, yes. Yeah, I did too. Well, we didn't.